Give it just a minute here, see if anybody's going to join us on the stream. I'll recap our last mission while we wait. Um, let's see, what did we do yesterday? We brought Bob back from Minmus, and that was pretty rough. No, it's not the Moon Channel, not yet. We brought Bob back from Minmus, and he rolled down a mountainside. Didn't die. Got pretty lucky with that. And then we built a space station. Hey, let's just take a quick look at that. Just because I like to look at it. There it is. Ripley Hub in all of its splendor. So today what I want to do is I want to crew this, and then I want to send a rover to the moon. And if we can get all of that done in a timely fashion, I've got a nice surprise for the end of the stream. Don't let me forget that I've got something planned for the end of the stream. All right, well, let's get started. We just need to send. What's a good complement for a space station? I'm thinking 2 scientists and an engineer. I don't think we need a pilot. If we need a pilot there, he'll be on a ship that'll be up there. So the scientists to operate the science lab, and then the engineer in case anything breaks or we want to. So I think we'll send 3 Kerbals up there. The only problem is there's only room on that escape pod for 2 Kerbals. However, they're going to go in a pod, so I suppose I can send a pod with room for all 3 of them. I guess that makes sense. So we'll send a Mark III command pod. And it has to be able to dock. Now, this is going to be kind of ugly because, well, they just don't quite... see, it looks like it's wearing a funky hat, but it is what it is. Okay, that'll dock. That'll do it. And this is just a pod, a small pod. It doesn't have to be very big. We'll need a heat shield. Heat shield and a decoupler. I can never find the right size decoupler. No. Oh, that one. No. That one. Okay. And since we're not sending a pilot, we'll need to put a probe core on here. So is that... no, that's too small. So we'll put a probe core, and we'll hide the monoprop fuel and all that kind of stuff in there as well. So we'll stick the probe core there. We'll stick the reaction wheel in there. And we'll stick a couple of batteries in there. Just jam them right in there. Perfect. And actually, let's move this down. The closer it is to the center of the mass, the more effective the reaction wheel is. Maybe it's the moon channel when we're actually on the moon. That would make sense. That would make sense. Okay, and we'll throw a couple of solar panels on here, like so. And I wanted to put the monoprop in there also. Here we go. It doesn't need a lot of monoprop. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I think there's monoprop already on here. Yeah, there is. And do we really need this stuff? We'll launch soon. I need to finish building it first. So, yeah, just a small tank is all we need. Maybe we can go with the very small tank. 360 liquid fuel. Now let's go with the next one, just in case we have to finish our transfer and rendezvous with this pod. Just in case. And then, what do I want for engines on here? I want something efficient. Is the Poodle? The Poodle's fairly efficient, isn't it? Let's see. Thrust 80 kilonewtons. Is that kilonewtons? The purpose of this vessel is going to crew the space station. This is going to carry the crew to the space station, and it'll be their return vessel as well. I want to get the space station operable before we move on to moon operations. Mooner operations. But you know what this could use probably? Dude. That would probably be all right. There they are. Let's see, where's a good fit for that without blocking the window right there. And then I want to throw some RCS thruster blocks on here. There. And there. Now, is that going to block the hatch? I think it is, so let's move it. I don't care if it blocks the window, but it cannot block the hatch. I need them to be able to exit. RCS only transfer burn? No, it's got LFO. The RCS is just for docking. It's easier to dock with the RCS. Okay, now let's see. Now we just need a lifting truck. And that's going to be pretty basic, very simple. Throw on that and throw on that, and I think we've got it. I think that's it. That might even be overkill, which I'm fine. I'm fine with it being overkill. I don't mind overkill. Okay, I think we got it. There are RCS engines. I don't know if I've unlocked them yet. That they're normal engines, but they burn RCS fuel monoprop instead of LFO. LFO is liquid fuel oxygen. And I don't think I have them unlocked here. I could use the skiff. The skiff is... the skiff's even more efficient than the Poodle. Yeah. We'll switch to the skiff. Perfect. There we go. Just increased our efficiency significantly. All right, make sure our staging is right. Engine, yes. Decoupler, yes. Second engine, yes. This is wrong. That will kill us. There, perfect. All right. Now, I don't want to send these guys. I don't like using those guys for space station because for space station appointments, because once you go to a space station, you're pretty much there. I don't really move them off. So I want to hire 2 scientists to fill in. So who do we have for scientists here? We've got Dilzer and Jamie. Those are my choices, and there are no other choices, so I guess we're going with Dilzer and Jamie. All right. Jamie Kerman. I would not have thought about that. So there's going to be our crew for the space station. Lights. Oh, do I need lights on this? Okay, I can put lights on this. Blinking lights. Yes. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Not putting my... What did I just do? Ah. Well, I just deleted the biggest half of my ship. Okay, I will fix this. Bear with me. Pushing wrong buttons. Nothing to see here. Move along. Operation, it gets the science on the station or else it gets in orbit again. Yeah, I'll send you through 10 orbits for every bad behavior. I think an orbit of Kerbin is only something like 30 minutes, though. It's not much. Okay, I've redone that, and now I can put my lights back. There. And those lights are to be red, and they are to blink. Red because they're in the back of the ship. If they were on the front, they would have to be green. These are on the front, so they will have to be green. Yep. Put the science on the station. Well, the science is already up there. This is going to put the scientists on the station. Let's see. All right, I think that's done. What should we call this? We'll call this the station taxi. There. That's a great name for this. Okay, yep, got our crew, got our ship. Let's get them up there. I'm eager to get to the next mission. Put this one behind us. The SS Space Elevator. Yeah, I'm not going to build any space elevators for a while. Okay, we'll wait for a better... Now, last time we started burning when it was about here, and what happened? We got out ahead of it, right? So we need to wait until it's maybe just over the water there. No, I'm not going to build a space elevator in Kerbals. It's just not going to happen. I might try to build a cannon, though, to shoot Kerbals to space at some point. I don't know. Is that a thing? Can you do that? Right there. Okay. Just need a super tall ladder. I guess it'd have to be made out of some kind of carbon fiber or something. Oh, and I didn't fix my staging. I might have waited a little too long to launch this time. No, I was thinking if I do start playing with any mods at all, it might be the RSS or something like that. Add some extra challenge to it. But I don't know. I kind of like vanilla. Preemptively stage the parachutes? No, I've done that. I'm pretty sure you've been here when I did that. Look at that. Pretty close. Not all that close. Yeah. Well, sometimes using launch towers is very effective. It allows you to get your engines up to full thrust before releasing, but I've never really found it to be all that necessary. And I'm burning the wrong way. Crashing a lot? Yes, I also used to crash a lot. A lot. Two, one. 1 kilometer, I can deal with that. It's only 1,000 meters. We'll switch to our target. And we want to burn retrograde when we get there, reduce our relative speed to 0. You're getting your games confused here. I don't remember the last time a Kerbal spaceship got hunted by a ghost. I don't think I would play this game if that happened. No, I wouldn't. And don't forget, there's not a pilot on board, so it's the. Well, this has its own RCS blocks, doesn't it? But it's the computer that's flying that. Oh, and I put no radio antenna, but it's just okay. It should be fine. That sip of coffee just cost me there. I'm pretty sure this fuel tank is attached to the reaction wheel. That's why it's so jiggly. Now look at that. That's some serious jiggle. And we'll have to dock it there. All right. That's not too bad. A dude named Jiggle in San Quentin? I don't think we're talking about the same thing. No, I'm pretty sure we're not. Let me get my lights on. We'll shut down this engine to avoid accidents. Uh, how long did it take me to learn to combine launch with intercept versus launch orbit intercept? Well, honestly, most of the time I do end up doing a launch orbit intercept, but last time I was just this last video I was playing around with when to launch. So if you have an object in orbit that you're trying to intercept and you know its position and you know its speed, you can figure out how far distant it needs to be from your launch point before you launch in order to launch directly into an intercept. So uh, I kind of fudged it and got lucky with this one. But probably 80% of the time I end up with launch orbit intercept. That's not a problem. It's nothing to feel bad about. But if you know the, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to put the space station in such a high orbit too. If you'll recall, I did say that putting it in that orbit would make it much easier to intercept, and that's why it gives me it gives me a lot more wiggle room during the launch to adjust my speed or my rate of ascent, slope trajectory. That's the word, trajectory, to guarantee an intercept. And as you saw in this launch, I did in fact do a lot of playing around with that. Yeah, jiggle room to jiggle. I guess I'm sorry I'm not talking here. This is the more complicated form of docking that I was talking about. Actually, translating the ship around, as opposed to just turning the whole station to point at it. I think we've got a fairly good approach here. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll shut off the RCS and here we go. And now we have crew on Ripley Hub. There we go. And now let's get the scientists in place. Quick time warp to stop all the wiggling. Transfer crew. Who's my scientist? Jamie. Transfer Jamie to there. Is Jamie a... Jamie is male. Okay, a dude. Transfer crew. You know, let's take a crew report while we're here and process that in the lab. And let's grab an EVA report. And then we can process that in the lab. And I believe I stuck science equipment in here as well. No, I did not. Oh, it's over here. So let's look at that. Process in the lab. Process in the lab. Is it going to go? Process that in the lab. And we'll process this in the lab. And then that's not going to max out our science, but it'll give us enough to get started. And then we can bring science here from elsewhere. So if we return from Minmus or something like that, we can always bring more science in. All right, and let's transfer Dilzer. No, we don't want an EVA. Dilzer will go there as well. And then Amal, who we rescued last time, can sit in the cool cupola. You get the good view. Did he move? Did I move him? Yeah, I did. Okay. So let's see what he sees. Oh, that's what he sees. Not much. It's not pointed the right way right now. And I'm not moving it. So we've got the science. Let's clean the experiments. Level up our crew. The higher level they are, the more efficiently they gather science. And we've got 84 data out of 750. So we've got a lot of room to improve here. But we'll get them started. And we've got Amal here in case we decide to do any modifications to the station, or if anything gets broken, he should be able to fix it. Except I don't think he's got EVA repair kits. So that'll be a problem. Well, let's start research. All right, and what is that? That's not harming our electric charge, so we've got plenty of panels, and we've got 22,200 units of electricity stored. So that's plenty, I think, to get us through the night. All right. And there we go. We're crewed. Let's go get started on the moon rover. We'll get this rover on the moon, and that'll be the precursor to the moon ground station. We'll get the ground station going, and then we'll build an orbital station around the moon. And then that should be it for the moon. What's this? Dock 2 vessels on or around Minmus. Position satellite in a specific orbit of the moon. No. No, I don't want to do a solar orbit. I don't really want to do any of these things. No, I don't. So we won't. We'll do this one. Build a new surface outpost on the moon. Well, we won't build an that has an antenna, a docking port, 5 Kerbals, and 2,000 units of liquid fuel. Okay, maybe our rover will be able to hold the 5 Kerbals. Because I don't think this all has to be done in one mission. No, it doesn't say it has to be one mission. No, it does. It does say. Has a docking port and can generate power. 2,000 units of liquid fuel. No, we're just going to send a rover up today. Yeah, that would be cool if there were missions to send visitors to the space station. Let's leave here. I want to build the rover over here in the spaceplane hangar, and then we'll move it to the assembly bay. So for the rover, do I want it crewed or uncrewed? I think we'll go uncrewed for now. Yeah. I'm debating. I don't really need that fancy of a probe core on it. We could just stick the Stay Putnik on. Or we could. Well, let's just build a crewed rover. Yeah. Why is it upside down? Yeah, you can move between bays. See, you just switch editor here. It's that button. I think I've only got the small rover wheels, though. And this has got too narrow of a base. So I am going to build it some suspension here. Yeah. Like so. Oh, come on. It's always got to be difficult. No, I don't want that. Okay, never mind. We'll put it back. We'll just have to move it. Wait, there. That's good. Yeah, something like that. No, I'm not building a unicycle. I heard they're really cool, but I've never done one, and I'm not going to learn right now because I don't want to. Well, that's trash. Yeah, I'm going to put more wheels because more wheels is more wheels. Why does it always do that? It always moves it just a little bit in a direction you're not selecting. There. How does a moon unicycle work? Wouldn't it just flip out? I think it would just flip out. Depends on the pilot. So you're saying if it flips out, it's my fault. Now, when you get the bigger rover wheels, you don't really need to do this, but I don't have the big rover wheels, so we're doing this. It might be a little too high. Let's find out. Let's take it for a test drive. Get out of here, Bill. No, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, that's perfect. Got a pretty wide base, so it should be fairly stable. Used up our electric charge already. But it's stable. I'm happy. Let's keep going. All right, well, keep in mind that after we build this, we do have to get it to the moon. See if there's a spot to put these that's a little bit out of the way. Yeah, it's all open truss there, so those would fit there like that. Yeah, I believe those would fit in there like that. How much electric charge do these have? 400 each. Let's put in a couple of them then. Yeah. And then let's get some lights on here. Lights are important. There we go. And a ladder? We'll give him a ladder. Don't worry, it won't clip. It'll just clip through the ground. It won't push us or anything. And an antenna. All All right. And science. Let's give it some science. Let's give it a couple of these. And probably not going to put the Science Junior on there. It's big. We could kind of tuck it in there or something, but it's too big. It's unwieldy. Put that there and put that. Trying to put it so it's. Well, those lights are awful, aren't they? There, that's better. And if it'll come with flags in it automatically. I think there's at least one on your Kerbal. So we've got. I don't know. Do they get new flags every time they go inside the ship or not? So we've got radio. We've got science. Now, where is the center of mass? It is right there. So right there, we're going to stick. Will it let me put it there? No, it wants to put it on top of there. A decoupler. Yeah, the crawler is a great way to spam biome science. It does take a while to crawl between the different biomes, but it's kind of fun to have it there. Just when you're bored or whatever, you can just hop in and drive around on the moon. Okay, now I want to switch editors, and now we'll build the ship to take this thing down. Now I've got my decoupler there. Okay. Now, I'm going to go with an extremely different design for this. Because it's always weird when you have to drop off your rovers. Actually, why did you do that? I'm wondering if it's going to be extremely difficult. Okay. I'm wondering if I can get a fairing over the top of this. I don't think so. Oh. Hey, it will work. Okay. I have to put it a little ways off. So we'll stick one of those fuel tanks back on here. And then we'll put the fairing. Nope. Wrong way. Now we're going to have one wheel clipping through. It's not letting me put it down. Oh well, it was worth a shot. It's not gonna do what I want it to do. So this is gonna be the lander. It's gonna be the ship that actually drops off the rover. Hmm. I could do that, or I could just not do that. I will just not do that. So what I was thinking about doing there is putting some legs out to actually let it land and then drop that off, but that's not what we're going to do. We'll go with kind of a sky crane approach. We'll just fly in and drop it from very low altitude at a very low speed. We'll just drop it. And this thing will need engines. No, that's fine. It's getting pretty massive. You know, if we did just lower this like so. Trying to figure out which buttons I need to push here. Bear with me. Yeah, if I did that. Then we could put the engines down here. Then I might actually be able to put landing gear on there. Let's see what that does. Now, don't forget we're on Kerbin here, and it's fully loaded with fuel, so it's going to be a lot heavier than it will be on the moon. But, hey, it's working. Look at that. It is working. And then, oh, I've got an idea. Yeah. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to replace it with this. And let's see. Put a decoupler down there. If I can find it. And a heat shield. Stick that back on. Put on a couple of parachutes, and we've got a return vehicle. Oh, and it doesn't need to dock with anything. We'll just put a big parachute on. Look at that. Wonderful. Okay. Now this we want way up here. I'm going to pull that way out too. And then we want the fuel this time to flow out from the core to these outer there, like that. And then we'll strut that. Did I really get it that crooked? I did. There. And then we'll strut the top of these as well. Like that. And then that should be good. Now we just need to get this to the moon. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, I'll tell you how. With a big old rocket. Better put some solar panels on here. And probably some antenna wouldn't hurt either. Okay. Yeah, I think that's done. Now we'll put... yeah, a couple of these. 4 of them. And we'll have those attached to this. And that should be good. And those will attach to these. Maybe. Yes. Antenna do have stacking range, so the more antennas you put on, the higher their range is. So, or their power, whatever. So this antenna here is see. There, okay. Um, it can be placed inside. Direct antenna rating is. I don't know exactly, but as you can see here, it's got. If you put on one, it's got two GM. If you can tell me what these mean, GM, that'd be great. Oh, this one has 31.6 mm with one antenna. You put on two, it jumps up to 158, and you put on three, it's 354. So they're stronger when you stack them like that. I think it adds them up as a larger antenna. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what those stand for. I've never really thought about it until right this second. Okay, so I'm gonna actually hold off on these. This thing is gonna be a monster for no reason other than I want to make it a monster. Where did that tank go? There it is. And there we go. Yeah, the G, it stands for grandma. All right. Let me just put a few finishing touches on here. We'll want to strut this. I get kind of willy nilly with my struts, so forgive me if they're not perfectly symmetrical. I get kind of milli vanilly with my struts. All right. This looks like an absolutely ridiculous thing. I like it. Okay, now the twin bores should all fire at the same time, yes, and then they should all eject at the same time, yes, and then no, we don't want these to all fire at the same time. These come much later. Does the ship have a wobble generator? Actually, this one might wobble less than the others. Just the way it's built, it should be fairly stable. Okay, so those will fire, and then they will eject. And then these will fire. And then it'll drop the yes. Okay. All right. What should we call this one? I guess we'll call it we'll stick with the bug theme. It's the June bug. Now that's just the design name. That's not the name of the ship. We can name the ship later. The SS Chumbawamba. Okay. And who are we sending to the moon? Do we want to hire a new crew? Or are we going to send these guys? The rover is going to stay, but the crew doesn't have to. I've put a return pod on. But I think I'll send a permanent crew. So yeah, let's go grab a couple of guys. We'll need. I don't have any scientists here. Okay, it looks like one for sure. And we don't need Jeb. So, Bob and Bill, have fun, guys. All right. Cross your fingers. Let's give this a shot. Maiden flight of the SS Chumbawamba. No, I don't think we need fins for this. It's got such a wide base and it's got the high gimbal of the twin bore engines. I don't think we need the fins. I just don't think we do. There we go. And what do these guys see? This is your view from inside there. Terrifying. I don't know why they would choose to ride in there, but okay. All right. Here's hoping. Don't tell them they're surrounded by explosives. Yeah. Somewhat slow launch here. But it is going. I wouldn't describe it that way, no. No, I would not. Now, I'm a little bit concerned. We're not getting very high. I might have to add some more boosters. Yeah, I've got the mainsail, but these twin bores... At least I think so. I like them. If this doesn't get us to orbit, I'll go back and switch to the mainsail and we'll see. Start our gravity turn here. That's horrifying. I don't know. I don't think this is going to do it. Let's try the mainsail. Let's just give it a shot. Maybe it's better. Let's look. So the mainsail has a thrust of 1379 at sea level. And the twin bore has a thrust of 1866 at sea level. So you see, it is in fact more powerful. It is more powerful. What we'll do is we'll throw on one more fuel tank here, like so. We'll put the twin bore back on. We'll raise this up a little more. Nope, it's not that. It's this. Raise this up a little more. And then we'll stick on, just to get the ball rolling, we'll stick on a couple of SRBs. Oh, the big ones. Yes. Like so. And that'll just get our speed started. All right. And let's fix our struts. Like that. Okay, take it easy there, Palpatine. With your unlimited power. And yeah, that should be good. We got those. Let's see, those will go off first. And then those. And those engines will fire at them. So that doesn't need to be two separate stages. And that, and then those fire. Okay. All right. And look what I'm about to do. Just because you wanted it so badly. There you go. You got fins. And this thing is expensive. Very expensive. No, it's very limited fins. Let's get this done. Oh boy. All right. Well, this is going to be loud, just so you're aware. Let those SRBs do as much of the work as possible here. What a weird looking thing. It's going though. Now we'll burn it full thrust. Start our gravity turn. It's getting us there. Eventually. What a view. Yeah, we should be able to make it as long as I can get up above the atmosphere here. Yeah, we're definitely gonna make it. It's no problem. All right, coast up to Apoapsis, circularize, and then transfer to the moon. What a view! Yep, there we're in space. It's pretty heavy for these reaction wheels, so it's responding pretty slowly here. Just trying to line it up and get ready for our circularization burn, which I will begin pretty soon. Yeah, right now. I suppose I could have set it to burn all of those engines, but I'm saving the others for the moon. Yeah, we'll gather up the science here, and maybe the science we gather we'll bring back and put on the space station. Maybe. Today we're going to leave them on the moon. There won't be a return mission today. But eventually they'll come back. And when they do, they can bring science with them. Will there be a deorbital collision? I hope not. I'm trying to get these guys there alive. Well, That's the plan. Yes, I was going to not tell you that and keep it as a surprise for the end of the stream, but since you're a ruiner and you've ruined it there, Mr. Pants, yes, I am planning to shoot down the grasshopper. Yes, I am. Well, I've actually got something in mind. Hopefully, I can make it work. And you're just gonna have to wait and see what that is. You're just gonna have to wait and see. We'll get these guys to the moon, drive around for a few minutes, and then we'll take care of the grasshopper. And I will most likely be taking advantage of the remove debris feature in the tracking station to get rid of the grasshopper after this. I'm not even going to lie. I'm probably not going to send anything up to clean it up. There's going to be pieces everywhere. I'm telling you, there's going to be pieces everywhere. But that's yet to come. First, we need to get these guys in the rover on the moon. At least I launched in the daytime. Here, I'll turn the lights on. Look at that. We got lights. Just waiting for the node to come up. And it's a rover, so I don't really care where it lands. We can always drive it to a different location. In fact, I'll probably use the rover as a way to scout for a good location for the ground base. I may or may not do that on camera. I might do that on my own time, just because it'll be a lot of driving around looking at gray dirt. I guess let me know. Do you want to see me drive a rover around on the moon, or do you want me to do that on my own time so you don't have to suffer with me? I don't think that the Kerbal Space Program engages in extortion. I know you're very insistent that they do, but I'm not convinced. How much science storage in the rover? Well, it's got all of the unlocked science except for the science. Is it the science junior? But it can store unlimited because I'm taking a scientist with, so he can pull all the science out and store it in the actual capsule. So yeah, we can basically just drive around and collect as much science as we want, and then stick it in the return pod here and send it back. All we need to do is EVA somebody across to pull it out of here and take it back to the station. Shouldn't be too much of a challenge, really. So they'll probably be able to hit maybe 2 or 3 different biomes on the moon pretty easily. It does take a while to drive between them. It's much faster to do it with a suborbital hopper, but it's fun to do it with a rover. Just pull out your old trucker songs, listen to your Little Ducky and 18 wheeler and stuff like that, and just cruise along. Okay, and we are transferring to the moon, and we've still got quite a bit of delta V. Definitely we'll be able to circularize and begin our descent with this for sure. Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, the trucker music. Absolutely. Gotta blast that while you're cruising the moon. Get your take your helmet off and put your trucker cap on. Yep. I heard that Bob tucked a little bag of grease in his backpack so he could smear it on his hands, pretend he's a real truck driver. That's not true. I made that up. Yeah, grease. You know, every good trucker has the black knuckles from the grease. Because a good trucker is their own mechanic. All right, and get the periapsis here. What happened? Oh, turn on SAS. Junebug has no operational SAS. What are we talking about here? It's got antenna. Does it not count when that's closed? Let's see. It still has antenna there. Let's shut that. Yeah, now. No. It says it's got good connection. Did I not? Yeah, it's got a pod right there. Huh. For some reason, that's not working. All right. Well, let's just transfer one of these guys up there. Just have to do it this way. Yeah, apparently, I don't know why. It says it's got connection. Oh, it is connected, but not to Kerbin apparently. Why not? Cannot. Hmm. Yeah, apparently it's connected to Kerbin Crater Rim. Yeah, it's connected. SAS disengaged. Oh, because I forgot to extend the solar panels. Yeah, it didn't have any electricity. That is why. I fixed it now. Let's see. Can I pop these out too? That'll help. Very limited power. Yeah, power. Limited power. It's not the same. But yeah, I've got those panels out now, so that should help. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the tech. It's all user error. But I think I can put this guy back, and I need to change the name again. I can't believe I forgot to extend the panels. It's okay. It's okay. We're gaining charge now. We'll be fine. We will be fine. Hopefully, I can get it suborbital before those engines run out of fuel. how well this works and how awful it looks are directly relational. This thing doesn't look awful. This thing's cool. Nah, it's I don't really like designing ships like this, but I it's that or you hang the rover off the side or you stick it on the top and then you have to tip over to get it. It's just a mess. Rovers are a mess. Yeah, function is definitely more important than fashion for sure. Eventually, when you have the tech, you can do both, but we're not quite to that point yet. All right, I think I want to try to land in that crater there. Nope, wrong way. Wrong way. Still the wrong way. Okay. I still can't believe I forgot to open the panels. And then I was freaking out. Has KSP taken out a preemptive, arbitrarily high insurance policy on the Grasshopper yet? Uh, oh man, imagine if you did have to insure your ships in this game. You'd never have any money. Ever. We'll just coast for a little bit here. Start coming down. Well, I might have been. Yeah, we should land in the crater. Just let it come on down. We don't want to get too low before we burn, but I also don't feel like being here forever. Yeah, that's probably a good place to start slowing down. Yeah. Make sure we're going into the crater. Now, what I'll probably do here is just burn the rest of the fuel out of those tanks. That'll slow us down quite a bit. There we go. And then we'll ditch those. Ignite those. And let's just get away from there. All right. Oh, how cool. How absolutely cool. Let's take these back in before they get wrecked. All right. And we'll just coast down for a little while again. We're still very high. I don't want to let myself get too much speed, and I don't want to get too low. But like I said, I also don't want to sit here all day. Oh, we've already been in this crater. Oh well. Just let it come down a little bit more. Maybe about 30,000. We'll slow ourselves again. Just checking my fuel. Well, I hope I didn't wait too long. We're not slowing down very fast. Might have waited too long. Didn't quick save. This is not looking good. Coming in very hot, yeah. Should have started that burn sooner. Well, I don't have RCS. Hey, look at that. The probe core. Oh, nope, it didn't survive. Nothing survived. Well, that's cool. Try again. Sorry. Okay, so my unwillingness to go slow, that's what got us there. There's nothing wrong with the ship. Mooner privilege? I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm just going to buzz through this pretty quick here. And I'm going to quick save a couple of times this time. Yep. Quick save is your friend. I always forget to quick save. I just don't think about it until, like, right there. When I became aware that I was going to crash, I was like, oh, I should quick save. But if I quick save right there, I'm just locking myself into that. I need to quick save before I start my deorbit burn. Oh, well, at least we got to see it explode. The ship does, in fact, work. We have seen that, yes. I just need to use it better. 100% my fault. It's because I jettisoned the fins? Maybe. Maybe. What does the J key do during an EVA? Oh. No, the visor is just like the sun shield. What you don't want to do is completely remove your helmet. And coast up to Apoapsis. Same drill. We already saw this. I got wicked deja vu right now. But you know, I'm going to do something just slightly different this time. I'm going to extend some solar panels. It does look like a hot mess, doesn't it? Not winning any beauty pageants, but it does work. See, look at how much drift those two, the Grasshopper and Amal's Heap, were right next to each other. And now see the separation there? If your orbits aren't exactly identical, you have drift over time. Although the idea behind this design is that we've got the rover in a position where it can be dropped on the surface. And without a bay big enough to hold it, this is the only thing I could come up with. So the engines had to be out radially around it. And other big hand motions like that, gestures. Those are called gesticulations. I think I'll take a different approach to landing this time. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll circularize that orbit into a low lunar orbit, and then we'll pick a landing spot. And we're not going in that crater because that's Jeb's already been there. I didn't realize that. There's no point in going back there. It's a waste of time. We need to go somewhere new. New and exciting. See if we can trim off any of this Delta V. Ah, 3 Delta V. Oh well. It's 3. You know, the core ship here kind of looks like something from a 1950s sci-fi or 1940s maybe comic, something like that. It looks pretty retro, I guess. And we have electric charge now. Just waiting for the node. You know, I don't feel too bad about it because all those other YouTubers that play this, they do the exact same thing, but they're not streaming, so they just edit it out and then never tell you about it. I'm streaming, so you get the pleasure of watching the mistakes be made. I can't hide them behind fancy editing. Unfortunately, that means you have to watch the same launch sometimes 2-3 times in a row. Hopefully, it's a good laugh, though, watching me mess up. Yeah, I don't want to hit the moon. I want to gently touch the moon. I want to kiss it. Barely. I wouldn't want to kiss the moon at all. It's dirty. You know, the astronauts, when they returned, said that the moon smelled like burnt steak. There were a few grown men locked in a very small space together for an extended period of time. I'm sure there were plenty of aromatic experiences had during that time. Okay, now let's just get out there. Do this again. Have I collected science data from space high above Kerbin? Have I done that yet? No. No, I have not. Check it out. Well, or I have, but I can do it again. Diminishing returns, but I can do it again. And besides, it's all good to bring back to the space station. It's all, yep, it will work to bring back. Oh, he can't get out. Oh well. No, you cannot take soil samples from high orbit. Pretty sure you have to land to do that. And we still have an electric charge this time. What are you going to do? You're in low orbit, just stick out a big old scoop and grab it up? I did see a video, was it 2 days ago, of a guy that built an orbital mining ship, and he flew it so close to the surface of Minmus that he could actually mine while in an orbit. Now, I think he was going to crash into the mountains at either side of the crater, but he was technically in orbit, and he was mining. It was nuts. I can't remember the creator that did that, but props to him, I guess. All right, we'll come down into a low orbit. About 20,000 meters is good. Good enough. All right. Ride this down. I'm not going to collect any more science from here. Well, I should. But then I would have to send him out to. I could. I will. So I'm going to transfer Bob to the pod. Then I'm going to EVA him. And we'll grab the EVA report. And we'll head over and grab the science and reset the equipment. And try not to smash the solar panels in the process. Collect, restore, and run it again. And collect, restore, take, log, good, and take, log, good, and take. Okay. And we'll put him back on board. I'm just grabbing science to take back to the station. And we'll transfer him back to the rover. And what do they see from in there right now? A whole lot of nothing. Yep. All right, let's get down to periapsis, and then we'll bring the apoapsis way down, and then we'll pick a landing spot. And what that'll do is remove a lot of the energy from our ship, so we won't be coming in anywhere near as hot as before. It'll give us the opportunity to control our descent in a better way. Pick a landing spot. I think we'll do one more orbit. Yeah. Well, actually, nope, been there. Yeah, we'll complete an orbit. So we can land in the sunshine. And I want to land in this area up here somewhere. I think that's either going to be the Midlands or the Highlands. And that's we haven't been there yet, so that should be new science. I'm not I don't think the pig's getting any closer to me. Still back there. Do have some grumpy little dogs here tonight. Retract the solar panels. Hopefully they don't get broken during the landing. I always thought that was a pretty cool effect when you eject engines like that. All right. Hey, good idea. There. I always forget. I've been playing this game for quite a few years now, and I still don't remember to do that. What I want to do is bring this down to about, I don't know, maybe 30 meters per second, maybe 20, and then we'll let it free fall again, and then we'll slow it down again for the final descent. I feel like we're gonna hit the rim of that crater there, and that's no good. I'd rather land in this area right here. Oh, those are down. Yeah, I don't like where we're going. Yeah, that's better. We've initiated a flyby of the sun. What is flying by the sun? I don't remember sending anything out. I'll have to check that out. I like this. It's got a really wide base, so I think it's not going to tip. It is a bit of a hill, but with that base, I think we'll be all right. Just trying to make sure we come in pretty soft. No, don't tip. Do not do it. Okay, good. It didn't. Perfect landing. Look at that. What is crashing? Perfect landing. There, I'll quick save again. And the next step is to drop the rover. See what that looks like from this point of view here. Looks like that. What broke? Something broke? My antenna broke. The antenna broke. You know what? Bill, get out. Come on, Bill. I want you to do something for me, Bill. I didn't bring a repair kit. Oh, come on, Bill. What are you doing? Knock it off. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scavenge one of the multiple antenna off of the ship here and stick on the rover. In fact, I might take 2 of them. Well, that was brilliant. Get back on board. Well, let's install the antenna first. Hey, where'd they go? Did I stick them? I bet I did. Okay. Can he fix it? Repair kit required. And I did not bring a repair kit. I brought an engineer. Yeah, I think those antenna went into the pod up top. I brought an engineer and I didn't bring a repair kit because I am a genius. Yeah, they're there. Yeah, we'll just do one. Backflips. Oof. Good thing we're on the moon. Okay. And we'll just stick that right there. Perfect. And this is broken. Oh, well, let's get out of here. I might. Okay. Reaction wheels SAS only. So I might be stuck in here. Yeah, that was bad. Quick save. I'll have to move the ship off of the top of it. Now, can I... Is it going to break the antenna no matter what? No. Yes. Yes, it is. What if... Well, I'm wondering, what if I remove the antenna, then decouple, and then just reinstall the antenna later? Bill to there. And then EVA Bill. And then we'll take Bill down here and pull off the antenna. There. And then get him out of the way. And get him way back here. Yeah, I know. I put it in. It's in the rover pod. That's fine. I'm all right with that. And then decouple that, and then switch to this. Get it out of the way. May or may not crash this in the process. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that happened. You could put your brakes on. Everything is going to be bad right now. Okay. I could probably do this a little better. Let me try one more time. Put the brakes on. Yeah, that was all a simulation. Okay, Bill. No, I don't want to see what you see. I want to transfer you to here, and then I want to EVA like so. And, yep, let's make sure we smash into stuff and fall. And yeah, it's too heavy to put on him anyway, so I'll just stick it in the lander can. And then let's get him out of the way. How far out of the way should he go? That's good. And then Let's get the brakes on and drop the rover. Switch back to the ship. Make sure we're controlling it from the right space. Quick save. And we want to launch. We want to go that direction. And then we'll land it again over here. Just like that. That's what I wanted to do. Pull out the solar panels so it can keep its batteries charged up. First try every time. And now we can put Bill back on it. There you go, Bill. I wonder if I can actually reuse that. I can. All right, it's all blacked out. Does that mean it's not good? It's already used. But look, I can move it around. So I can move it out of my way. Why is it... It's crooked now. There. Yeah. I remembered to put the antenna on. And then he can go back inside and change SAS to, yep. Why do I want to grab the ring? It's too heavy. It's too heavy. See, it's too heavy. It's way too heavy. Just put it out of my way. Okay, and there we go. We're on the moon. Now, I believe I had a contract to plant a flag. So let's get that done. Grab up this science. No, I already have this. I already have the moon's Midlands. Wasted time coming here. Oh well. Yeah. Let's get that flag planted. And what should we name this spot? Let's see. Now that I don't have. Plant the flag. Okay. Get back on board. And we could drive around a little bit. This thing goes pretty quick. It's pretty snappy. I would call this mission a success. All right, we can play around with this rover more later. It is getting a little late here. And I do have one more thing that we need to get done before calling it a night. You know what? Maybe I should not drag this ladder around. Okay, we have a rover on the surface of the moon. Awesome. Now what I want to do is build, let's call it a cleanup ship. And how do I want to do this? Okay, I know how I'm going to do this. We'll start with, it'll be unmanned or uncrewed, unkerbled, whatever the proper nomenclature is there. Nomenclature, however you pronounce that word. Get some electric charge, get some reaction wheel. That's all we need there. Get some solar panel. Okay. Then I want to stick on this. I want it to be about, maybe about like that. And stick on a few of these. And how big is this? Perfect. Yep. Do I have a small nose cone? I don't think so. I think I have to use these. Oh well. And then I don't really need that, do I? But I do want to put on this. It's small. No. No. There. Okay. I'm gonna throw on a fuel tank. And And then we need a lifter section to get it into orbit. We'll just go with one of those. And I love these twin bores. I love them. I'm going to keep using them. This is probably a lot bigger than it needs to be, but this is what we're doing. Okay, that's going to fire. And then that will fire, separate, that will fire. The fairing will go. And then this all happens at the same time. Okay. No idea how well this is going to work. Let's call this the Pants Nightly Special. By request, this is being built. This is not what I normally do. Fins? Do we have to have fins? I don't think we have to have fins. I think fins are just more weight and expense. But I mean, if you insist. There you go, fins. Will it ever load? And the grasshopper is our target. And hey, we're actually in a pretty good spot to possibly do a direct intercept. Burning pretty aggressively here. All those fins. All right. It's not quite a direct intercept, but it's pretty close. Probably could have got it on the second intersect here, but oh well. Don't worry, we'll catch back up to it. He's getting pretty far away, but we'll catch it. Don't worry. And I want to get lined up pretty close. If I was a better pilot, we could just do this, but I'm gonna have to match speed instead. So I was trying to get a 0 kilometer intersect 0.0, but I don't think I'm gonna pull it off right now. But what I can do, where is it? There we go. Let's get to about, I don't know, maybe 500 meters. I don't know. Come to relative zero, and then we'll disperse our payload. Might be better to be a little closer. Let's go for 250. Oh, we're way closer than 250. I've never done anything like this before, so bear with me. Kind of feeling it out as we go here. All right, and deploy the fairing, and we're pointed right at it, practically point blank range. There it is. Here goes. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was a huge. That was a. Oh, wait. No, no, no. That was a fail. That was a fail. Oh, well. Wow, it survived. Look at that. I should have quick saved. Well, I think. What is. Oh, no. Why are those burning? I thought those were all done. Well, there you go. There you have it. What I should have done was sped at it like I did and then launched those right before I hit it. Then maybe they would have all hit it. But they really did just flare off right away. And look at all this mess now. Look at all that junk just floating around out there. And the Pants Nightly Special, core survived, and it's got a solar panel, so it's there. All right. Well, that's that. That's the end of the grasshopper. Probably will not be reflying that particular ship type again. Uh, that was kind of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again for joining me tonight and watching my stream. I do hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again on the next one.